Welcome everybody, live here at the Marine Travel Arena for today's events for your Curzon Ashton. We're here in the lovely northwest on a fairly overcast day. I probably should say cloudy, but here on the west coast in Crosby, it is your host Marine taking on Curzon Ashton. It's an unchanged side from that 2-1 win against Oxford City. So I'll just give you the full lineup. It's Callum Hawkins in goal. Back three of Marcus Pasha, Joel Lombardo and Jordan Richards. Ben Darby at right wing back. Chi Eze on the left. It's a midfield two of Charlie Weston and Alex Curran with Jack Stubbs, Jimmy Spencer and Tony Weston, the front three. It's off Tony Weston. Great strength by the winger. Let's try and keep it in, but his pass not the best. But his namesake does well. Alex Curran sending through Tony Weston. 1v1. Oh! And it was a tight angle to try and score from, but Weston nearly did. Looks to make the switch. Manages to reach Newell in the end. Eze marking him. Newell gets a shot off, but only stings the palms of Callum Hawkins. Wardle. Centre back making the big switch, but his pass is not the best. Spencer fouled. Referee waving play on. Curran telling him to stop play. Very clear foul by Lee Whelan. He can't have any complaints. A bit of a reckless sliding tackle against the Curzon captain. Played in. Header trying to reach Newell. Ducking a bit low, but it's returned to Ash Hunter. Second bite the cherry. Whipped in. Header, I believe that's by Wardle, but his header is over the bar. And now Hawkins rolling it out first time. Jack Stubbs trying to bomb down the right-hand side. Spencer looking to lay off Curran. This time Curran gets hold of it. Spencer frustrated that. And then now there's a yellow card coming out. Spencer remonstrating. I assume it must have been very harsh against him to be as animated as he is. And it's a second yellow for Lee Whelan. Lee Whelan adjudged to have been too harsh into the back of Jimmy Spencer, and Spencer's protests have paid dividends for Curzon. Hawkins throwing it out quickly to the left-hand side with Chi Eze, who's got plenty of space to work with. Wing back, sending it through for Tony Weston. Great pass forward. Winger trying to gather his feet. Great, the cross in to Curran. He's all the way to Stubbs now, looking to get his shot off. Well blocked. So up for grabs. Charlie Weston trying to get hold of it, and does in the end, under pressure from Matty McDonald, and he sends through his namesake, Tony. Tony Weston on the edge of the box, looking to send through Spencer. Spencer tries to get a nip on it. McIntyre save. Does it bounce off Spencer? Yes, it does. Stubbs looking for the big switch over to match the run of Jimmy Spencer up against Declan Drysdale. Spencer winning it back, playing it back to Eze. It's now with Spencer looking to pull the shot off. Attempted curling effort, not far off at all, but just over the bar from the captain. Weston looking to turn and try and send through Stubbs, but eventually Weston allowed to get hold of it. Tries to play it to Charlie, but no luck. But eventually laid off for Curran. And Curran, the counter-attack pays dividends in the end. Alex Curran firing a strong low shot down to the right-hand corner. He was unchallenged, unmarked, and finally Curzon make their man advantage pay. Alex Curran with his second goal this season. And despite Marine's impressive dedication to try and find the opener, it's Curzon who've now found the opener. Richards, big switch over to Eze, great find. Left wing back, playing it back to Stubbs, who stays out wide left. Playing it inside to Chris McLean, the Scotsman. Just about getting hold of it, lays off Charlie Weston on the edge of the box, fires! And just an inch wide of that bottom right-hand corner from Charlie Weston. Chooses to lay it down. Now eventually he does throw it out to Jack Stubbs. Played by over to Tony Weston, and it just sneaks in. It sneaks in! play over to Tony Weston, and on the right edge of the box, with McIntyre rushing at him. The angle almost against him. He just manages to loop it over everyone and sneak it into that far corner. And now Curzon have their second and have that breathing room against Marine. To the wide left with Sinclair Smith, who gets his feet caught and allows Stobbs to dispossess him. And now sent through, Brad Holmes up against Declan Drysdale. Holmes trying. It was a cross-come shot. It was nearly finding the top right corner from Holmes. But McIntyre had enough wherewithal to be able to tip it over the bar. Sobwale looking long for the run of Brad Holmes. And it's allowed to run. Brad Holmes tries to loop the keeper, but his shot, unfortunately, searches for the near side rather than the far side. He did manage to loop it over McIntyre, but it goes wide in the end. Goal kick prepped and looking long again for the head of Spencer. Spencer trying to lay off Darby. Darby blocking the clearance, which falls favourably for Brad Holmes. Brad Holmes lays back off Spencer, who fires the shot off. Great save by McIntyre. And allows Marine to clear, but only cleared as far as Stobbs, who attempts the shot. And a goal! 3-0! Beautiful looping efforts by Jack Stobbs to beat Jack McIntyre. And Curzon with 3 goals, and now officially all 3 points for Mike Bradshaw's side. Excellent execution from Jack Stobbs. Looping over McIntyre. And rightfully receiving the plaudits from the fans just in front of him for that brilliant goal that all but rubber stamps Curzon's 3 points. McLean mopping up the ball. Brad Holmes driving into the edge of the box, setting himself, firing the shot. Falls directly at Jack McIntyre. Irate with Rodwell Grant, who fell over the keeper. Marine take the throw in. Only as far as Sobwale, who heads well clear. McLean looking to get a hold of it. Send through Brad Holmes. Brad Holmes bursts into the box. Lays back Joe Rodwell Grant. And it's 4! Curzon with one last sucker punch right before the end. Brad Holmes, impressive run forward, bursting into the box. Cuts back for a fully unmarked Joe Rodwell Grant. And Curzon Ashton 4-0 now. Joe Rodwell Grant, second goal of the season. Marine fans leaving in droves. Very bad day at the office for Bobby Grant, but could not have been a better day out for Mike Bradshaw and the Nash.